Cinder?
It just...
Oh. Senorita, you scared me. You always appear out of nowhere. You have that talent.
It was in my room.
Oh, I see. It almost looked like you just jumped out of this fireplace.
That's just silly.
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, senorita. I didn't mean to imply that you are scorching hot or, you know, that you are burning with passion or something like that. That definitely wasn't my intention.
Well, I didn't think it was until just now.
Yeah, I may have...
I figured you said that because I was a fire mage, but oh, was I mistaken?
You're a mage? Oh, that explains those explosions that you're able to conjure.
Yeah, that would do it.
I thought it was just hand grenades, you know, like the orbs of fire.
No, but I guess we could get some of those too.
Well, I guess there's no need, you know, why obtaining such crude devices when you can simply just conjure them with your thoughts. Must be nice.
It does the job.
Well, speaking of setting things on fire and watching them burn, Willow, has she been around? Did she mention anything? Do I still have my job, or am I done for?
I haven't seen her for a couple of days, no. Not after the incident with the HR thing.
Maybe she left. Maybe she wanted to face the HR personally.
No, I think as far as she knows, the letter was sent out.
That is good. I actually wanted to talk to her. Wanted to have a little heart-to-heart with her and perhaps explain myself a bit more. Now that I had time to cool off, I feel like I could provide further explanation as to why I acted the way I acted.
Well, hopefully she'll be around later, but I don't know.
I hope so too, but at least you're around. And now that you are actually around, I did have some concerning discoveries that I would like to perhaps ask for your input on. Follow me here if you can, because I...
Oh, that.
Do I even need to start explaining why I find this a bit troubling,
no,
to
no.
say the least?
We thoroughly yelled at Grace for half an hour about that. I don't know. I have no idea. Apparently she wanted to try organs on ice cream. I was not here at the time, I just saw the aftermath. It was a lot worse. It's been cleaned up a bit.
I see.
I don't know what kind of organs they are, or why she thought they would taste good on ice cream, but she's been getting adventurous with her food, I guess.
I can see that, senorita, and I'm all for experimentation, and I'm all for discovering new and unorthodox ways of satisfying your needs and desires, but this isn't exactly something I would put on my menu, if you understand. I am not comfortable with cannibalism.
Yeah, I don't think it's human. I don't believe. But yeah, she decided she did not like it, so I don't think we're gonna have that issue again. I would just be careful with anything she makes you.
Indeed. I don't think at this point I would even accept a watermelon from her. Who knows what she did to it.
I know. Hopefully she figures out whatever that is, but I think now Servius is convinced that she's a vampire.
She's a vampire?
No, she's not a vampire, but Servius believes that she is.
Oh, well, Servius seems to be a bit out there too with some of his ideas.
Yeah, he's special.
I wouldn't quite put a lot of thought into his theories, but we can definitely verify. I mean, all we need to do is to just feed her some garlic, and that should prove without a shadow of a doubt that she's either a vampire or not, right?
I don't know if that's actually a thing, Ricardo. But we can give it a try.
That's all I know about vampires.
Grace.
You're saying it's not true?
I'm saying I don't think it is, but you could always try it. But I do know that she's not a vampire, if that helps calm your fears.
Very well. Well, you two seem to hang out a lot. Where is she actually from? Like, what is the reason for these strange habits that she exhibits?
She's from the company, same as I am. We only knew each other a couple of weeks before we met you, so
I see.
I don't know her life story, but I do know that she's from a faraway town like I am. So there's not a lot of cultural exposure.
Well,
So I guess she's just trying out different foods, seeing if something clicks.
I guess it makes me a bit more comfortable to be around you two, since you're both from so far away. I guess I can relate because I'm also, well, I'm in a similar position. I also come from a very distant place of Zingara. We do have some strange customs. We do like weird things like music and happiness and adventures.
Those are strange.
Oh, indeed. At least it feels like something strange. It's not exactly something that my bosses expect from me. You know, I am supposed to be a bit more grounded, down to earth. I mean, formal instead of down to earth. More like, you know, down to earth, but not down to earth. You know, like practically.
Down, but with a bow tie.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess that makes sense.
Indeed. So I guess we're all outsiders here, just trying to do our best to fit in.
Yeah. And then there's Willow, who is Willow.
Yes,
And then
the
there's
thorn in my
Cinder.
puta.
That doesn't make sense. I don't know how there could be a thorn in. Never mind. But there's Cinder, who is a tiny little creature that you think is a human, even though she has horns and wings.
Yeah, about that. Does she have like a special condition that we should take into account? Does she require like frequent visits with a groomer, for example? You know how you do with like dogs and stuff.
I wouldn't go that far, no. She likes to play tricks and hide her horns, though.
Oh.
No, they're quite thoroughly attached to her.
Yeah, I thought she was. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but I can definitely remember her looking a bit unorthodox. Hello, Ellie.
Yeah, you thought she had pink eye
Indeed.
when her eyes are just red.
Oh.
Because she's not a human, Ricardo. I hate to burst the bubble.
I guess we brought her to a doctor and they told us that there's nothing wrong with her, so it's not gonna be infectious. The company should be safe for any potential litigation.
Yep, very responsible of you, yeah. I don't know how one's race could be contagious, but I'm glad that you made sure.
Well, they say that vampires can spread, you know, if you don't apply enough garlic.
Topically, or how does that work?
Well, I thought that they like suck each other's, like liquids. But not like in a good way, you know, like from necks and stuff. And like they turn each other into other vampires, and that's, you know, it's basically like an STD, like a version of STD that these vampires possess, and that's what makes them infectious.
I would say that's accurate. Vampires irritate me quite a bit. And then Servius accused me of being a vampire, which also irritated me quite a bit.
Oh well, I can understand how an STD could be considered a nuisance or something that irritates you. Trust me, I can speak from experience.
Oh, you can.
At least I could. Now I'm clean as a whistle. I could pee into a cup and it would be as clear as morning. Never mind. So anyway, now that we're done discussing the nature of my pee, what with Servius and him accusing you of vampirism?
You said why?
Yeah, what's his deal? Why is he saying that?
He seems to be convinced that Grace and I aren't human, so he's been devoting his days to figure out what we are.
I see.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he assumed vampire, but then he tried to feed us some of his blood and it got a little weird.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm sorry, señorita. I am responsible for this. I should be there to protect you from these
We weren't in danger.
weirdos. Well, I know you can handle yourself. I know how powerful you are. My former horse can attest to your powerful spells, but just please be careful. And if he tries anything funny, let him know that my heart can easily be swayed to not appreciate his offers to... Is he still into me?
I don't know how into he is. I know he wants to fight you again.
Oh.
Sparring language.
Sparring or sparring? Hell yeah.
All of the above? I'm not sure.
I see. I feel like I should obtain a chastity belt just in case. I don't want to be surprised from behind.
He's my friend. I've never slept a test.
Oh, I see. Well, I appreciate the warning, and please do let me know if he ever stops by. I'll see if I can wake up and provide him with the pounding he deserves and he requires. I mean the sparring pounding.
Just be careful. I've seen him eat a human heart like a candied apple.
Oh, well.
So, due diligence, Ricardo.
I assure you that mi corazón is strong enough to withstand anything he can throw at me. And anything else to report?
Let's see. We got a few letters around the house, I think. Grace has put them up somewhere. Lots of stuff.
I see.
And I went and gathered a few things off of the list.
She's so clicky.
There we go.
And hell yeah.
I went and got brimstone and savory flesh, so I think I only need to get ash and amethyst.
I see. Well, if you require any assistance, I would love to help you.
Alright, let me see if we have... Oh, we have plenty of amethyst now. I forgot that we had gotten some during the rabbit visit.
Oh, a rabbit visit. What the...
I'm not sure. I guess it's a custom in the lands. This little box has some stuff in it. A rabbit comes around and lays eggs. Don't ask me how that works.
Ew!
But it... it apparently does. And inside there's lots of prizes.
Must be ridden with parasites. I hope you didn't touch it.
It gave us a lot of Crinixium and Zarian, though, so I don't care what it's infested with. It was helpful.
That's a weird parasite, for sure.
Yeah, well, Grace and I went and gathered as many as we could, but there were a lot of people looking for a small amount of eggs, so
the shiny mote is amazing.
We could have done better, but we did okay.
Well, I guess that's very industrious of you to extract Cronixium out of rabbit eggs. I would never ever dream of such a possibility, but I guess here we are with lots of Cronixium.
If you wanted anything out of that box, it didn't come out of the infected eggs. We bought them with the rewards.
I'll refrain. Thank you, Senorita. I appreciate it.
We don't want them either, so I understand.
Right, well, I would just throw them into the fire, just in case.
Well, Grace just didn't want all of the tokens to go to waste, so we went and purchased some things.
Oh.
Just in case.
That reminds me, I should probably leave the money that I'm still keeping in my pockets. Where is our CFO? Oh, there she is. Alright. All done and accounted for. I'm sorry, Senorita, but carrying too much money in my pockets leaves me with a lot of burden that I do not wish to carry with me, especially if I ever visit the Adventurers Guild. At any rate, that burden is now gone. So, what is it that we require to gather?
What's the Adventurers Guild?
Just a remnant of my past, something tempting that I do not wish to encounter ever again.
Okay, I haven't been there, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's nothing good ever came out of that activity. Trust me.
Fair.
Money was invested and many was lost.
Many what? Coins or lives? Yeah, that was very vague.
Both.
Oh dear. Well, we're not going to go to the Adventurers Guild then.
Let's just say, senorita, that sometimes what these dealers say when they promise you a big reward, you know, when they say that, oh, you can go all in, or you got the cards, they're lying, senorita.
Oh, gambling. See, when you said dealer, I went to drugs and I got a little concerned.
It's not gambling per se, it's more like exchanging money for false dreams of winning more money in return, and it does rarely work out.
Yeah, gambling.
It's
That
not.
makes sense.
It's not gambling. It's more like when you visit a nice place, you get, you know, you kind of drink a few glasses of alcohol. You have a few cups. You have a few, you know, toasts, drinks. You just, you know, you get into the mood, and there is like a nice stripper named Cindy, and you know, you feel comfortable, and then you're like, oh, well, I have this money, you know, that I just earned. Now I can build as many orphanages as you know, as it's possible. I get all this money, I'll invest it properly. All I need to do is to just, you know, win when I'm ahead. But that's the thing, you know, the more ahead I get, the more I feel like I can get even more ahead, and then I get behind, and then I lose my bands because I, well, can't
So
even
you
afford
get to a
keeping
point
them.
3 orphanages, but instead of just building 3 orphanages, you try to build 6 and it doesn't work. Then you build.
It's exactly like that, senorita. Just, I guess there is a lesson about greed in there somewhere, but I never found it. I instead
Well, it
prefer
sounds-
to go cold turkey.
That's not a bad idea. Do you have a thing about orphans?
Well,
You went to that crystal room looking for an orphan too, and got beat up.
oh no, senorita, it's just, you know, just a little thing that I sometimes think about, you know. These orphans, they have such hard lives, they never had any parents, and life dealt them a very cruel hand, and they always get attacked by these bandidos, you know, being kidnapped for ransom, and I just can't stand the idea of orphans getting hurt, and I just want to help them, you know. I know I'm asking for a lot, I know I can't save them all, but at the same time I'm like, what's the point of living if you can't even save one orphan, or 10, or 1,000,000, or all of them? They don't even have a home, senorita. They're hiding in the bushes, you know, I know they're out there, somewhere.
The bushes.
Sometimes when I close my eyes, when I try to go to bed, I can hear their hungry stomachs, you know, just go. You know, it's like,
Didn't
they're
like that
starving.
noise.
Yeah, I don't like it either, that's why I'm trying to get all this money. I started the
That makes
project,
sense.
but it's very slow and very hard to afford when most of your money was invested into getting more money by gambling.
You could try to gamble, see if you can get a little more. It's for the orphan.
Well, good thing I don't have any money on me right now. I gave it all to our bankers, our CFO, and I feel like I shouldn't be trusted with it. I already learned my lesson. I like these pens, senorita. I don't want to lose them.
Well, if you insist. It does sound, however, like these banditos have a very poor business model, thinking they'd get ransom for orphans.
Well, there's
But-
another thing, senorita. You see, the reason why these bandidos are always after the orphans is because they're after me. They know that I hunt them down. I used to have a amigo. His name was Lorenzo, and his life was also very difficult. I tried to help him, but he had some very, very bad dealings with these bandidos. I believe he was actually one of them, but then he left, and he sought my help, and I did try to help him, but eventually that put a target on my back. And now the orphans, they know about my desire to protect these orphans from hungry stomachs and to put them through college. And they know that the easiest way to get more money is to simply kidnap them for ransom. And I always pay, senorita. I don't want to take the risk of the orphans being hurt. But it costs me a lot of money affording all this ransom. It's like paying fucking alimony times million.
Well, if you ever feel like you don't have enough money, there is always that route. You could gamble and try. But that's your prerogative.
Wait, Senorita, what are you on about? You should be discouraging me. Why are you encouraging me?
Well, because I'm thinking about the orphans, Ricardo.
Well, so am I, but I tried before, and I know that there are some people who manage to master the ability to gamble and win the money back, but it used to be my friend Mali. He actually earned money from gambling. I don't know how he did it. I always tried to do, but it never worked.
Maybe you just had the devil's luck. But money in there with Minerva's not helping the orphans. It's just sitting in her bag. That's all I'm saying.
I promised I wouldn't gamble anymore. I promised it to someone important who gave me this job. I don't want to get fired, Senorita. She's an enabler.
Very well.
Maybe if we earn like a lot, you know, maybe if they're not looking, maybe if Will wasn't around, and maybe if Grace is too busy, you know, making an organ ice cream or putting cheese slices on a cake, or you know, maybe we could just try it, you know, maybe the situation changed, maybe the dealers are a bit nicer these days, you know, and they actually allow you to win some money back.
Maybe.
Maybe you'll bring me luck.
Maybe.
That sort of maybes. I like those odds.
They say the house always wins, but that's not the case.
Well, they never specified which house, right?
Could be this house. The one
exactly. That's my hope too. Oh, Senorita.
In the future, that'll be built for the orphans.
I'm so glad. Oh, exactly. The house always wins. The orphanage always wins. In this case, but probably, hopefully, will win. Oh, Senorita, I'm so glad I have someone who understands at least a little bit about my predicament. But please don't tell the HR. They don't need to know.
I don't tell HR anything.
Oh, good. I trust you, Senorita.
I'll just make sure they find the river as well.
Perfect. No. I mean, I didn't mean that we should throw the HR into the river. That would be
no,
unfortunate.
I'm not going to throw Willow into a river. That wouldn't get rid of her. That would just make her angry.
Yeah.
And that would be annoying.
Indeed. Well, I guess we could earn some more money, and then, you know, if we have enough, we could definitely go try our luck and win some freaking cash.
I did just make some money today.
Oh, how much did you make?
I made 5 gold.
Oh, that's very nice.
Just selling iron. I didn't find anyone to do a job for.
Well, maybe that's something else we could do. Could find a client. Someone rich.
That clinic person was rich.
That they were.
Seemed to be doing very well for herself. Maybe she needs more services.
Certainly. We could definitely visit them and ask them if they would be willing to receive another appointment. Same with the king of the house, of the spooky manor.
Someone told me he's a vampire. Which is irritating.
Was it Servius?
No, it was actually, Grace mentioned it because apparently Willow knew, and Willow didn't tell you guys before. So Grace was a little upset that she didn't get that knowledge before going there.
I don't know, Senorita. All of this sounds like a bunch of rumors. Unfounded rumors. If these people are vampires, let them, you know, tell us when it's time for them. I don't wish to pressure them into sharing any details about, you know, their activities or anything like that. can only imagine it must be a bit embarrassing, you know. If you have a sexually transmitted disease like vampirism, you probably want to keep it under wraps, you know, be a bit more discreet about it.
You would think, but they have piles of bodies outside their house.
Well, maybe that's just performance art.
I'm pretty sure that's murder.
Well, I guess there aren't any authorities in these lands who would punish or enforce any laws. So maybe it's allowed? Well, they got away with it, so most likely. Maybe all those people were bandidos.
Vampiric banditos? Sounds sketchy.
Well, I guess we could ask them.
If they're vampires or if they're banditos?
We could ask the so-called vampires, or the potentially vampires, if those bodies are of bandidos. You know, maybe they hunted them down and burned them in a pyre.
And what if they don't turn out to be as good-willed as you hope? What if it's a pile of orphans?
Oh, well, senorita. That's why I carry this. I mean, no, that's not at all. I'm carrying this for self-defense, of course. I would never use it to avenge or how to... well, I wouldn't take the law into my own hands anymore. I would never do that.
Fair enough.
And that's wrong. I have a responsibility not just for me and for our charter, but also for you, my assistant. And I wouldn't put you into any hot waters with the local population. I know I already broke that promise, but Senorita, am I crazy or... You were there, right?
For which part?
Oh wait, you weren't there. You just heard from below.
Actually, she just came in fuming. I think Grace filled me in later.
Right. The hex.
Well, she came here and we don't like that hag anyways, so it's fine.
Oh, wow.
She creeped us out. She was trying to put dirt on our face.
Yeah, they were super creepy and I didn't like them at all. So I told them. With my truncheon.
I was going to say, I was pretty sure I was told that you smacked her.
Well, I really wanted to make sure they understand how much I dislike them.
Nope, think they got the message.
Sometimes words are enough, senorita. I would have sang it to them or played it on my lute, but I don't exactly have the ability, the tools, or the permission to do so. So
You play the lute.
Oh no. I maybe I did.
You clearly just said you played the lute.
I used to. It's something I was a bit passionate about back in my glory days. I mean, back in my former days of my life. Definitely nothing glorious about it. No, not at all.
Well, it sounds like you were someone with a noble cause, fighting banditos to save the orphans and playing a lute. If that's not glory, I don't know what is.
Your words, not mine, senorita. And I assure you that such a life would be very dangerous and irresponsible, and I would never want to go back to it.
You don't miss playing the lute, then?
I mean... It's... I am happy for my new life, senorita. I am happy to make a difference. I am happy to have you as my assistant, and the others as my assistants, even Willow. She clearly does her job well, and I think she also means well, even though she's even though she can be a bit of a... Even though she's around.
Does... You say you like the new life, but why can't you play a lute while having this life? You could be playing a lute on that couch right there, and I don't think it would affect your workload.
It does sound nice, senorita, but I had to promise to certain someone very important, very powerful, that I wouldn't do so anymore. That was one of the conditions for me to get this job and to
not make music. That is a ridiculous condition.
It's not just that, señorita. It's a part of who I used to be, and let's just say that this part of who I used to be isn't exactly what the person in charge wants me to be. They have different plans with me, and I can't really do much about it. I already tried, but it didn't exactly work out for me.
Would they know if you were playing the lute?
Well,
how would they find out?
I can only imagine that's why Willow is around.
I don't see her here now.
At first I thought that's why you two are around too, but... You know what? Maybe you are trying to tempt me to slip up so that you can run back home to the headquarters, HQ, and to rat on me. But you wouldn't do that, right?
Is that what you think that we're here for?
Well, I at least wanted to ask.
Well, I recognize that that's a valid fear, but I'm not going to justify that with a response.
Well, as I said, Serenita, I do trust you, but I'm only mentioning this to let you know why I have to be a bit more cautious.
Well, I think if I was going to go tell on you, I wouldn't have thrown a customer complaint into the lake.
Yeah, and I feel like I already gave you enough to, well, ruin my
You've given
life.
us plenty of ammunition. Don't.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I'm also not exactly supposed to fraternize with anyone while I'm here, so...
Fraternize as in romantically?
Like
Or-
putting my dick, romantic encounters. Social engagements of any sort. Anything that
No.
could be considered romance.
No, yep, understand.
It's... Trust me, señorita, it's not easy for me. It's not who I used to be. But I am trying my best to adjust to this new life. Although it does seem a bit restrictive from the outside perspective, it also gives me hope to finally achieve what I want to achieve. Maybe not in a way where I would prefer to walk on that journey, but at least I can see the goal. And
So
a way
you
to get
used to be a fraternizing, gambling, swashbuckling bandito fighter who played a lute, and now you inspect homes and can't do any of those things. And you think this is a trade up?
Well,
Just curious.
I had no other choice, señorita. This was my only chance. You can probably imagine how complicated or how eventually destructive that previous life I lived, must have gotten. Even though it was fun, even though it was rewarding at times, it also took a lot away from me. And eventually I started feeling like a nuisance to my friends, to my true friends, and I didn't want to be the guy who was just throwing his life away, who's just living day by day with no future, with no real success, no long-term goals in mind apart from just I didn't want to turn into a hobo who just lives on the street and who just plays his loot for a coin, and even though others find him amusing,
Yeah.
those who truly know him would only look at him as a disappointment.
I guess that could be said. But I don't know. You may not be a nuisance to your friends now, but you're not with your friends anymore. Seems sad.
It is, señorita, it is. I do miss my amigos. But this is better for them. And it will hopefully be better for me too, eventually.
What is your long-term goal now? You said you didn't used to have one. That implies you have one now?
I do. If I manage to do well in this job, if I manage to comply with all the restrictions that were put on my contract and on my life, then I will get what I want the most.
And what do you want the most? Is it about the orphans? Is it about not the life you used to anymore?
Yeah, something like that. The person that I sold my soul to promised that he would cover some of my debts, you know, just a few debts here and there, with a few very respectable institutions that specialize in obtaining money from clients for the purposes of, I would say, investing into some fun activities like cards, dice, and other things. Very respectful, very lucrative. So yeah.
So, was that a phrase of speech, or is your soul actually at stake here?
Well, it definitely feels like it. I definitely feel like I sold my soul for this, but hey, the contract is actually giving me what I always wanted. And well, if I...
Well, feeling like you've sold your soul and selling your soul are different. So as long as your soul's not at stake, then it's fun.
I mean, I probably don't even have one anyway. But metaphorically, it definitely feels like it, in a way.
You certainly do. Not all souls have to shine brightly, but everyone has one.
Well, it's nice of you to say, señorita. I think you have a very nice soul too. And I mean it in the most platonic way possible. I don't, you know, it's like the... it's whatever, you know, it's like I would say it's a mediocre, decent, brightly looking soul.
You think I have a mediocre looking soul?
For a very cool person you are. You know, I would say... You know how some people see things as either half full or half empty? Well, I only see them as half adequate.
Well, whether or not you see me as half adequate or fully adequate, I can assure you I'm fully adequate.
You seem like a very fully adequate person, señorita. I didn't mean to insult you, nor did I mean to compliment you. I merely wanted to be very indifferently neutral with my compliments.
Alright.
But yeah, apart from that, apart from him covering my debts, he also promised that he would help me build the orphanage for the orphans of La Perdida, so that they could stop hiding in the bushes and being kidnapped by the bandidos. And he would also sponsor the fund for their college tuition.
And how do you know that on the path you were doing with the gambling, you wouldn't have been able to get that money yourself?
Well, because I tried. I told you I already lost a lot of money, including my pants.
I don't think the pants would have helped with the orphans, I'm gonna be real.
I can't quite protect the orphans without my pants on, señorita. It doesn't work. I tried.
You can give it your best shot.
I did, señorita, I did, but it's hard to carry my sword around without pants. It doesn't quite... It's not ideal.
I'll take your word for it.
Indeed. But yes, but I had to promise that I would refrain from certain activities like fraternizing, like playing my lute. I had to... No, I don't have it anymore. I had to leave it with that particular person. I also had to promise not to, of course, gamble anything. And I had to promise to do my best in this job. I had to learn some new skills, and well, now I'm here.
Well, as long as you feel content.
Well,
I guess some people strive for more than content, but it's up to each individual.
You're not wrong, señorita. Trust me, this is not exactly how I imagined my life to go, but it's the best I can do for now. But I'm sorry, we've been talking about me all this time. What about you? What do you strive for? What are your hopes and goals and dreams?
Well, I just want to not get fired, currently. As far as life goals go, I don't think they're too important. Just a couple things here and there that I need to get accomplished before I leave.
What kind? And is there perhaps anything I could help you with? Any goals? Any mission in mind that would require an assistant? Even though I'm technically a boss, I would prefer.
I think you can probably help me out, and I'll let you know how you can do so in the future.
Well, I know that I sound like a big fat loser with a stupid goatee, but I assure you that not all of it is true. I can help. I do feel strongly about my amigos and those who have my back. I would die for them.
That's good to hear. Hopefully it doesn't become necessary, but it's always good to have on reserve, I guess.
Well, you might be my assistant, but I would never refuse to provide an assistant of my own. So please keep that in mind.
Very well.
Well, but now I would like to use your expertise and your sly abilities to deal with this serious situation. How do I gently let a weird, horny pirate know that I can't quite reciprocate his feelings?
Well, I would say he hasn't confessed to you himself. He's just mentioned it to me. So bringing it up might cause undue embarrassment or feelings of resentment. So unless he actually says something to you, I don't think you'll need to bring it.
Ah, I see. So I should just play it cool.
Yeah, if he does mention something though, immediately letting him know that you're not into his advances as polite as they would be the best course of action.
So if I'm tying my shoes like this, and if he's around, would that be considered playing it cool? Would it be appropriate?
There is nothing appropriate about what you're doing right now.
I'm stretching my hamstrings.
I thought you were tying your shoes.
That's too, but I'm multitasking. I don't want him to get any funny ideas.
No, of course. Oh,
I'm stretching my knees.
I suddenly remembered I need to get more stew.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea. You can never have enough. So anyway, that was exactly my concern. Like, I do sometimes, do things without thinking, and sometimes I just stretch or tie my shoes. I don't want him to think that I'm trying to, reciprocate his feelings. I have never really been propositioned by, or potentially propositioned by a man before.
Well, he hasn't propositioned you yet. He just has a crush, Ricardo. I don't think it's anything you need to worry about. Says something, let him down gently. But it seems harmless. He just wants to spar with you, and not in a sexual way. I mean, I'm sure he wants that too, but he also just enjoys fighting you.
I still think that having a duel to death with him would be the easiest solution to this predicament. That's how I solved most of my
Probably
disputes
say
with my
yes.
amigos.
But I don't think you should die yet. You're still useful.
Oh, señorita, you don't have to worry about me. I've won a few tournaments before. I defeated a few opponents in a similar manner. I think I'll be quite fine. But at the
But
same
if you
time...
die, think about the position that leaves me and Grayson. If we mess up one more time, there will be consequences.
I see. Alright, señorita, you're right. Well, no duels to death. Well, I'm responsible for this operation. Alright, let's get some soup. Actually, I have plenty. Well, you said that we probably need to go gather something. Ash, right? And apparently blood gems, a lot of them.
Yeah, blood gems and ash.
Well, we might as well start on the volcano.
There are obsidian fields nearby. I can't remember their exact location. Someone showed them to me a couple weeks ago.
That is true. Around the NM city. That might be easier than a freaking volcano.
Well, yeah, there's that, but there's also outside of the volcano, there's quite a bit of obsidian there too. In the snow?
Let me see. Oh,
I would have to guess at the location. I don't quite remember.
unfortunately, I do not have any tools on me right now, apart from my battle sickle.
Of course not.
Do we have like a spare sickle at least that I could use for gathering the ash?
Didn't you give all of your tools to Cinder?
I did. Indifferent compliment. That's true. Either a sickle or a pick would be totally fine. Just to get the ash. I presume that we could also use the goldstone from the note.
Sure, check the furnace and see how much we have.
Uh, 4,500, I would say that's enough.
I think we're fine.
Alright, then just a sickle then. Also, I'm sorry. It seems like I'm barking orders at you, but I can easily craft it myself.
No, that's my job.
Oh, right, I forgot. You are here to assist me. I feel a bit weird barking orders like that. Can we pretend you're like a hooker and I paid you for services?
No, Ricardo, we cannot.
No, I didn't mean like, like that. I mean like, I don't have to feel bad for asking you for favors.
How else could you have meant that?
No,
you
señorita.
did not solicit me to...
I'm not I am soliciting you to make me make me a tool for harvesting. It's just I'm more comfortable dealing with hookers, señorita. That's all there is to it.
Well, just because it makes you more comfortable does not mean I need to pretend that I'm a hooker.
Oh, right, you're right. I'm sorry, señorita.
You're fine. Alright, here are these.
I don't even know it unlocked.
I could make you the rest when we get back. I don't have any earth gems for your willow to make natural harvest, so maybe while we're out we can grab some as well.
Oh, thank you, señorita. Alright, I'll just use the normal tools without any upgrades, and eventually we can just upgrade them and apply something special on them. Alright, I'm ready. Let's go.
Alright. Did you want to get the ash from the unnamed city, the snow, or the volcano?
You lead the way, señorita. I feel like you know this place a bit more than me.